With Season 4 just around the corner, we have been updating all of the guides on Maxroll, and so we did on the Bone Spear Necromancer. This season, unfortunately, the Bone Spear is not that crazy, but it's kind of overshadowed because of the crazy stuff that is happening with minions. You will find the updated Bone Spear Necromancer guide in the next couple of days, updated on Maxroll. You will find the link down in the description below. And this is a short sneak preview that you can already see. We are still polishing the little details here, but as soon as we press the magical Season 4 release button, everything on Maxroll is going to be updated. So you will find the endgame progression and variants here under topic 4 or chapter 4, where you can see everything that you need to unlock, and most importantly, you can see the different variants. They are currently looking a little bit weird here because there is a PTR planner that is not currently represented on the website, and whenever you click the icons right here, so if we click this, for example, we instantly get to the build guide that is behind the official planner. And here you can also see everything that you are used to. So with this, you can either look through the variants right here, speed farming, bossing, and how the build changes in the certain scenario, or easily, if you prefer the written version and the plan, you don't really like the planner so much, you can just go and check out the endgame progression and variants here on the left side on point 4. And what's really important to say, with Season 4, you need to be a little bit smarter about the gearing choices that you make. So you need to keep in mind that there are certain breakpoints that you need to hit for your build to perform at the highest level. So for example, that obviously changes from build to build, and we have introduced a new little header here in the stat priorities section, the damage scaling and the defense utility breakpoints. So, for example, you need to reach 100% critical strike chance during grasping veins for the Bone Spear. I think that's normal. We have learned this over the last few seasons that is extremely important. And what is new in the Bone Spear, you need quite a lot of attack speed. I have put the breakpoint a little bit lower here, but you will easily hit that, and you will even go higher because there are very cool things that you can do on the Bone Spear that we will get into any second here. And there is also breakpoints for the defense and utility. Obviously, armor cap and resistance cap period needs to be there all of the time, but on top of that, you need a little bit over 20k max life for Bone Spear in particular, and you will need 100% corpse tendril size, resource cost reduction, maximum essence, because that's a direct damage multiplier for your damage, essence per second, additional movement speed, so on and so forth. And you can see that you have certain very specific tempers that you need, or very specific aspects, and you need to, and you will know where to put them. Oh, I've spotted a mistake here. We don't need the Hellbent Commander ranks on the Bone Spear, but nevertheless, this is still being polished. Obviously, this is still being worked on the back end here. I got permission to show this to you guys, so you're kind of getting a sneak peek here. And you can see where to put your stats to reach these breakpoints that we've been talking about. So for example, on the helm, you need essence per second, maximum essence, intelligence, and you have these new little green arrows here that basically mean that you are masterwork critting on ideally these 3. And then down here we do have the tempers. So on the helmet, where you put your juggernauts, you also put maximum life, corpse tendril size, although obviously, stuff like this is interchangeable. If you have the Decrepify size here and corpse tendril size here, you can obviously switch them around. What's very cool here for the Bone Spear this time around, and I can show this to you guys in the planner because I think that's a little bit easier, is going to be the new lucky hit effects that we're actually going to put on the gloves, the pants, and the boots. So for example, we have chosen different ones because that is going to increase the amount of stagger that you are going to deal on specifically bosses, which is going to help you in the higher tiers of the pit, where you can hopefully stagger the bosses extremely quickly on Bone Spear, because naturally Bone Spear has quite high lucky hit chance, and that is being utilized by the new lucky hit effects on the armor, specifically the gloves for the freeze, and we also have put the concussive strikes here, so you basically have a Fists of Fate permanently active on the new Bone Spear. I really like this. I'm very curious how this is going to work out. So on the gloves, lucky hit freeze and daze, and then we have the stun on the pants, and then we have the immobilize on the boots, which in my opinion is extremely interesting and is going to allow you to basically CC every trash mob on the screen, apart from corpse tendrilsing them, but also is going to stagger bosses extremely quickly, because back from Season 3, where we need to use exposed flesh, we were triggering lucky hits over and over and over again, which is not necessary anymore because we have a lot of essence per second and a lot of resource cost reduction, especially on the jewelry. And now we can make use of the high lucky hit chance for Bone Spear to trigger these cool new lucky hit effects, basically CCing the entire screen or staggering bosses over and over again. I'm really curious how that is going to work out. Obviously, I'm going to update the builds with all of my findings during Season 4. So if you are a Bone Spear enjoyer, just like I am, you can definitely look forward to that. The build guide, the written build guide, is also going to be updated. You can always see the changelog down here. It's hidden behind my camera, but 0.9, you can see the changelog, and you can actually read what I have changed and basically apply the same changes. I am also going to be updating the video guide as well. What's really important here in the FAQ section, there is going to be some very nice little things hidden that are also obviously on the YouTube channel. For example, I have a very important video here that explains literally everything when it comes to using a Bone Spear, boss damage, Bone Spear placement, what are your multipliers, how do you actually set up your Bone Spears to deal the most amount of damage. They're all here in the FAQ section, for example, and they're gonna help you out when it comes to that. And if you're looking for how Bone Spear really works, I suggest you check out the video. And there's also gonna be a crit cap calculator that you can find a video explaining it on the YouTube channel here as well in the Maxroll guides and the FAQs. And to keep pushing forward in the Bone Spear build guide itself, you can see we have attack speed here on the wand, attack speed here on the gloves, which are going to allow you to have quite a lot of attack speed. And if we can believe the calculations that I made and also the Maxroll planner does, is that we are probably, with the gear that we have in the planner right now, with all the breakpoints, we will actually fire 2 Bone Spears per second, which is gonna be dealing quite a lot of stagger and quite a lot of damage. And the good thing about this is we do have a lot of resource cost reduction on the jewelry, as I said before. We do have that on the necklace, we do have multiple on the rings, and basically you're firing and staying at maximum resource all of the time, because you guys know on Bone Spear that's extremely important to stay very high on essence, because all of the multipliers for your skill tree, ossified essence for example, the more essence you have when you are casting your Bone Spears, the more damage you're going to be dealing. And this is not going to be any problem whatsoever with the high amounts of essence per second that we can get. So we're going to be critting on all of them once, so we actually end up with 27 essence per second, and obviously we are reducing the resource cost by huge amounts, so we regenerate way more than we're spending. This can obviously be fine-tuned if you're not if you're staying at max essence all the time. Then you obviously don't need to crit once or twice here on the essence per second, and you can use that and put this on the maximum resource, because again, 2 maximum resource equals 1% damage multiplier because of the ossified essence node in here. Paragon board is the new version. Basically, I will still give this Paragon board a pass, because we might actually end up just using 6 total boards. Maybe I cut the Wither board right here because we have the Scourge here. You will see this in the planner that is going to be linked down in the description below. And obviously also the written guide will be updated with this. And straight up beelining for the Paragon glyphs as fast as you can, literally ignoring everything else. On a Bone Spear, that's not as easy, because the problem is we need this little cluster right here. We don't really need the essence on kill anymore that we have needed in the previous seasons. We just go here to pick up all of the multipliers we can actually get from having the scaling with maximum essence, because all of these are basically a 2% damage increase or 2% damage multiplier. We do have the 4 maximum essence, again with ossified essence. This is gonna be plus 2% damage multiplier, and we pick up quite a lot here, especially the reinvigorate rare node right here is insane, because you get 24 max essence, which in turn is a 12% damage multiplier. Definitely worth the detour right here when it comes to the Bone Graft Paragon board. Again, everything in here linked down in the description below. Equipment, very standard stuff. What you can see is there's a lot of things here. You can, that's basically due to having 8 different variants. Again, you can level with Bone Spear, where you can see where to put literally everything that you need. At the beginning, we're actually utilizing the Cold Mages to get even more essence generation. With Iron Maiden, we're going to supplement this even more, because obviously the essence per second that we have available to us is not as high as we like it to have. In the end game, it's going to be much higher, but until we get there, we actually need to help the Bone Spear essence generation a little bit with Iron Maiden and the Cold Mages, and that is going to grow and grow more so towards the end game and the pit version. You have the starter version, where you now have access to all of the codex stuff that is available from completing a normal dungeon, for example. And then that goes and evolves even to the Uber versions, where you can see we are going to have the Starless Skies and the Shaco, and you will see how to fit those in the build. The skill tree will also change quite a little bit when you get the Ubers, for example, but for the end game and the pit version, normal standard stuff that you have access to again in the planner. Sacrificing all the skirmishers and the cold and the iron, standard stuff for Bone Spear. And yeah, the links are gonna be down in the description below. I hope you guys are actually gonna enjoy Bone Spear this season, although I have to be honest, everything is kind of overshadowed by the crazy stuff that is happening with minions. I don't blame you to not play Bone Spear. Even I, as huge Bone Spear enjoyer, am not gonna start with Bone Spear. I'm actually gonna go and play minions and yeah, try to push it first and see how that is gonna go on hardcore. So I'm very curious how that's gonna work out. Yeah, if you want to join the journey and want to have some question answered, you need to join the Twitch that is going to be linked down in the description below. You can also ask questions down under the video here. I'm responding to literally every comment, answering all of the questions. And if you want to have a more direct approach, you can join the Twitch, you can join the Discord, all linked down in the description below. And if you like content similar to this, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.